Hey there, this is Tim. I'm one of the partners of Paragon Partners, and I'm going to go over my last 30 eBay sales. If you've been following along, you'll see that sales are up now. We've had anywhere from 4,000 to 20,000 in a month. So anything over 10,000, we're generally happy with. What's interesting too on this breakdown is how much it costs to sell. So you see how that 12,700, the selling costs were 4,700. So that certainly feels like a big chunk of money. Of course, it's better than other platforms. But let's see what we've done. So this we actually sold for $800. And this was a local sale. It's the first time I've ever done one of these sales locally. So I had to make sure I understood the protocol so the buyer could say that he received it. And we received this one on consignment, and I'm kind of glad we sold it locally because man, this one had been a pain to put together and package. So I don't think it had ever been used. The only problem was it was missing one of its feet, so I couldn't sell it as new. But we got a pretty good price on it. This I sold for $27, really close to my price. And if you watch my other videos, you'll see I've been really surprised at how well these old telephones are doing. And I mentioned this before, it's nice you can pick them up for cheap at thrift stores. My partner, he's been selling a lot of scrap gold that came out of a watch dealer. And this is a bunch of watch parts. I just loaded up and he sold, and we got a good price on it. We sold this one on consignment too. I think we took a best offer. I think it was like around 150 on this, a little under, but it moved quick, and our consignor was still happy with it. So this came from that same consignor, and of course now with digital phones, these are irrelevant. But we sold this entire lot of 3 recorders for $25, and for him, it's just laying around doing nothing. So it was, of course, better than nothing. This one we sold to that. We sold from that same consignor. This was not only is it a USB supplier, uninterrupted power supply, it's also a power conditioner as well. So you can see volts in, volts out. And I see people who do bit mining also use equipment like this, so you can monitor the electricity coming in and out, so you can calculate their cost. One thing about whenever you sell these is you never know the battery condition, and so that's why you see so many of these at thrift stores, because the battery's burnt out, and that's why they're giving them away then. We sold these also on consignment. We got a big batch of these, and so we're just starting to market them. This is a air ionizer. It takes bad odors. You see a lot of people use them at restaurants, and we sold this for $80, and it was on consignment. And of course, we're happy with it. Now this I bought at a local auction, and I paid something like $15 for it. And computer speakers normally don't do so well, but anything by Bose does do well. So that's why I picked them up, just because I recognize the sound or the brand name. Yeah, usually computer speakers are just a bunch of $5 cheapies. I mean, really, you can't give them away. But this I did sell for the full asking price. This is the second record I've sold. I think I'm going to stop selling these. I'm just not knowledgeable within this niche to know the good ones and the bad ones. And 98% of the stuff in this niche are not the good ones. We sold it for $8, along with free shipping. And I really don't think I'm going to be pursuing this any longer. I actually just got into this because I had a couple records laying around, and I was watching some videos from the auction professor, and he kills it in this category. And I wish I could have some of the same success. These are the end of the pipets that we've been selling. We've got a big lot of these. And this has already paid for itself many times over, so we're just selling what's left here. This came from our consignor as well. These 3 products, and we put these, instead of buy it now, we put them at auction. We can see what we did here. These old cameras have value, but it's not a lot of value, but they do still sell, these old 35mm cameras. We started this at $19 as an auction, and it got the 1 bid, so we went ahead and shipped it. So there's a little money there. Now these fishing reels, Typically, I haven't done well on fishing reels. I'm like in the $10 to $20 range. But this one came on consignment, and this was new out of the box. And you can see it's a more expensive brand. So we did pretty well on this as a consignment. So, of course, next time I look for fishing reels, I'm going to be looking for this brand. Now, this is an Xbox 360. I put this one up for auction at $30, and we only got the one bid on it. I bought this for $10, and I used to do better on these back in the day. I'm just not doing as well. They still make money, but they're not the big money maker I used to have with them. Now, this was a DVD VCR combo, and I bought this half off at the thrift store. So I paid like $3-4 for it, and I underpriced the shipping, which is okay. I knew I was going to take a hit there, but I made it up on the price. So this is one of the better deals that I got. Oh, now I bought a bunch of these Steam magazines. These were from the 60s and 70s of Steam cars and some Steam engines. And I had these in different lots by the years. And about 2 of the other lots sold. And this is what was left over. So I put them all in one big lot. And originally I was asking $100. Then we cut it down. Then we cut it down again. And they finally sold at $30. Pardon me. Oh, now this was a driver's side mirror for was it Chevy? And I bought 2 of these, half off the thrift store, and they wanted $20 each, but I bought them at the half off day, so I paid $10 a pop. And I did get $100 for it, so that was one of my better deals. We sold this on consignment, and we put it up for auction starting at $50, and you can see there's a little activity on it. We got it up to $60. This is another one of those things that we sold on consignment. We took a best offer. It was close. It was like around $35-40, and we did pretty well on it. Oh, now of course this one we liked. We took a best offer around $700, and this is a very good professional lens. I had to make sure to photograph the lens very carefully, and there are no scratches on it, and I could show that, and that really helped with the valuation. Oh, now this is an old printer, and I got this over a year ago, I believe. And normally I don't carry inventory that long. We try and not keep inventory past 3 months. We keep on reducing the price, and if it doesn't sell at the lowest price, then we move it along to another channel. But for some reason, we had kept this and kept this, and you can see, in fact, it didn't even sell for the 25. It sold something like 23. It was close. And it was a 3-color printer that we got out of a big surplus. And I was just glad to get rid of it finally, get the space. That's why I took the low price. Oh, now this, I mentioned my partner. He bought this big office slot for $200. And we've already sold all the printers and made all the money from those printers. But they disassembled out of the office the burglar alarm kit. And so I was thinking of selling all the burglar alarm components as one lot. And I thought, no, I'll part them out. So I put all the like pieces together. So these were glass breakage detectors. And I had 4 of them. And they didn't, you can see they're $15 a pop. But the guy bought all 4 of them in one shot. So we got $60 for it. So that was a nice chunk. That was just something that was just a bonus for us. Out of that same office lot, there were a bunch of these Radio Shack intercoms. And we got $25 for these. And again, this is just another freebie, which had already paid for itself. I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, this I bought, again, at the thrift store at half off. They wanted, it was $15. So I paid $7.50 for it. But I underpriced the shipping because this cost like over $30 to ship. And especially since it had the remote and all the antennas that went with it, I actually should have sold it for a little more. So I underpriced this on both aspects. So I made money, but not as much money as I should have. This comes out of my partner. He does all the coins. So he put this coins together. You can see we got the price for it. Now this I was a little surprised at. So last week when I was at the swap meet, I bought 3 different iPod configurations. So I put them all up at 99-cent auctions because I really didn't know what it had. Now this worked, but the screen was broken, so I sold it for parts. And the other two didn't take off, but this one did. And you can see we got $32 for it. So I was kind of surprised at that. Here's another one of those that I purchased at the thrift store at half off. I got this because it came with the remote, which makes it more valuable. And you can see we got the $50 for it with $10 shipping and handling, so I was happy with that. Oh, no, this is kind of interesting. I bought two of these for $30 at an auction some time ago. And this is for people, remember back in the day, for smokers, when they have their voice box taken out. So they would put this right next to their voice box, and you'd hear electronic voice come out of them, so they're still capable of speaking. So this is one of the first generations of that instrument, and the battery was all corroded. I couldn't test it, so I sold it just as an antique only, and not to be used for medical purposes. Now, if it were new and working, it would have been worth like $800. So of course the value wasn't there, but I still sold it for $100, so I was happy with that. This I was a little disappointed in. I got this at an auction. I think I paid like $3 for it. And these tubes, they'd be worth a lot more if I had a radio tester. If I were to be in this domain a lot more, I'd probably pop the $100 to $200 just to buy a tester so I could see if they went well. And this not only was it the kit, but it had some little pieces for repair. And we had it on buy it now forever, but it just wasn't moving after we reduced the price. I said, screw it, I'm going to put that up for a 99-cent auction, see what happens. And you can see it really didn't take off. So I think I took a loss on this one. Anyway, that's it. So if you have any comments, be sure and leave them below. Otherwise, like and subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.